What's up? It's Jobringus, your favorite inefficient reg. It's currently the night of February 28th, last day of the month. I'm at Al Kharid Bank right now. Been doing some hill giants, also some moss giants. Taking a break from moss giants just to hang out at hill giants a bit for this video. In part because I already filmed a video at moss giants once upon a time, and I like to mix up the scenery. I said something in the last update where I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do after 80 Runecrafting, which I did achieve finally. I finally went and knocked it out. And I at first thought maybe I would train some mining. Maybe I would even train something else, but kind of mining was sort of appealing to me. And what I ended up settling on instead was I had the inspiration to collect some Giants keys and Mossy keys. I had said in the past that I thought this would be cool to do at some point. Even though it's not really the meta for me to do this, I think it would be cool to try and get a Hill Giant Club and a Bryophyta staff, or at least the Bryophyta's essence drop. To be honest, if I got the essence, I would probably have to sell it because that much GP is really big for this account. That would buy me, like in the worst case scenario, that would probably buy me like 200,000, 300,000 prayer XP, and realistically it would buy me more. So that's a pretty big deal to me. A drop that's like 7 mil. I think that's still roughly what it's worth. But Hill Giants Club, it's like not that valuable if I remember. I think it's like 300k. Either way, I think it would be cool to try and get one for the collection log. So they have I think they both have like a 1 in 118 drop chance. Something like that. Something like a little odd. And the Giants have a chance of dropping keys as well. So in expectation, I'd need 111 keys to expect one of the rare unique drop. I'd get the extra like 7 or 8 keys that I need on average from fighting the boss. So that's what I'm going to grind for. I'm going to grind for 111 Mossy keys and 111 Giants keys. And I think by the time I do that, I don't know if I probably could finish it this coming month, since I don't think I'll do that much else. And it's, a lot of clicking because I loot the big bones, of course. That's part of the appeal for me, is I get to keep working on the prayer levels. Even though, for example, my prayer I haven't leveled prayer since the last update video. I've gained probably like 45,000 experience, maybe more. I've gained a good deal of prayer experience just off training fighting these giants. So I probably will get, well, certainly at least 1 prayer level, but I think I'll probably get like 3 prayer levels, I'm guessing. Based on how many giants kind of I expect to kill, I'll probably get around 90 strength. So I have 42 Mossy keys already, which means I've got 69 more to go. And it's a 1 in 60 drop chance in the wilderness moss giants, which are not really a hassle to fight. So I like the wildy ones. I've only been ragged there like once by someone who was pretty low level, and they stopped bothering me when I brought my own bow and arrows. So I don't get bothered there much, and even so, it's like not that risky. So I have to kill roughly 4,000 more moss giants, and then the hill giants. There are some wilderness hill giants, and I haven't actually checked them out. But based on the wiki, there are not a lot of spawns. They're in the lava maze, and the spawns are kind of spread out. I just really don't want to deal with fighting them, even for the double drop chance of the giant key. I think I'm still better off fighting them here, and then I don't have to sweat about getting attacked in, boo, bad random. I don't have to sweat about being attacked in the wilderness. And especially because if I got in the lava maze, I'd probably die. So I don't really want to do that. So I'm finding them here, but as a result, it means these 13 keys are all the keys to my name. I think I started Hill Giants here with about 5 keys already. Maybe it was like 3. I had some single digit amount of both keys. Um, and, Hill Giants, the kills are faster, but the keys accumulate slower because it's a 1 in 128. So I have to, close to 100 hill or 100 keys. We're talking almost 13,000 more hill giants that I expect to kill. So that's quite a bit. Um, that means in itself, that's like, ooh, giant key. Nice. In itself, that's like about 200,000 prayer XP, and I think they have 35 health. So something like almost 200 or almost 2 mil strength XP. I'm probably going to go strength all the way. Just sort of makes sense to do it that way. And that means that, and then with the Moss Giants, which I forget how much health they had, but I think it's something like 50. No, I think it's 60. So another like 4,000 of those. That's another like roughly million strength XP and another like 60k prayer XP. So something like 260k prayer XP. That gets me to over a million. And the million mark is right around level 73. I forget actually how deep into 73 a million XP is, but it's something like right around there. And so maybe I get to 74. And then strength, like if I'm talking about 3 million more strength XP, I don't have the table up in front of me, but as you can see, crafting 91 crafting, I'm going to hit at 5.9 mil. So somewhere either like high 90, maybe low 91. If I'm really lucky, then maybe just like mid 90, but somewhere around 90 strength. I think it would be pretty unlikely if I didn't get 90 strength. And I think it's in certainly the realm of possibility for me to get all the way to 91. So this is going to be my kind of activity for a while. And I don't know if I'll do it. Well, I guess the real answer is I'll come back to it if I don't get the rare drops. I think also Bryophyta and Obor have a guaranteed chance of dropping clue scrolls. I just have some beginner clue scroll like festering in my bank right now. I think I've done around 30 clues, maybe not even that many. I don't like particularly enjoy them. The Charlie steps got easier, but I do know that I would someday like to grind out to 600. Um, the worst really part is just the hot and cold clues, and so I don't know what I'll do about hot and colds in general, but I think what I'll try to do is I'll probably try and do every clue, or at least most of the clues I get from drops, from the boss drops, and then maybe I'll use that to kind of jumpstart just working on the 600 clues. I don't know if I'll finish it afterwards with like goblins or something, or if not. I also, I should kind of like look into efficient clue hunting a little bit. I think that people can get something like 20 clues done an hour with goblins, and maybe that's gone up since Charlie the Tramp now. I believe this update went live that like you can just give him the stuff he wants from the bank. You don't have to go like perform the task of crafting or fishing or whatever, obtaining it, which means that Charlie steps are now just like faster and basically buyable. So the only steps that are like a pain are the um, hot and cold steps, which if you know what you're doing, like you can figure out um, basically within like 2 teleports. I think you can always figure out which hot and cold step you have. So if you know, you know, but some of them are still kind of annoying to get to. Um, it might maybe be worthwhile if actually obtaining the clues is so fast. It might be worthwhile skipping hot and cold steps um, if they're like my first step. Um, there's actually a couple of people who watch these videos now, so if anybody knows the answer to that, I would appreciate you telling me. Um, but there's also a chance where if it's marginal, I might do it anyway, just because I don't really like hot and cold steps. But we'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind about that. Again, once I get the locations all memorized, then maybe it'll just become like second nature to me. And I think getting those clues and caskets could be a fun little diversion after collecting the rare drops. And if I don't get the rare drops, then I'll come back to them. And if I do, if I get them early, I'll still, I think, finish off the keys. Maybe I'll leave the keys in the bank for a later time, but I'll probably finish them off. It's not bad money to kill the bosses. The Bryophytas mostly comes from the chance at the essence, but it's still, I think both of them drop like rune items with a decent frequency, so it's still like not bad. Um, so it's, it kind of like, in a way, I'm sort of saving up some money that I can make out of like Alex or other valuables. And with the way I'm fighting these hill giants, every once in a while I do need to restock. If I didn't pick up anything, I could just basically take an inventory of potions and just a small amount of food. Um, I lose like a pretty small amount of health fighting hill giants on my current stats, um, to the point where like two swordfish seems to be basically an appropriate amount for how many inventory slots I use. These are all the stackable drops I keep. I mean, I brought some extra nature and fire runes for alching anyway, because if I get uncut gems, if I get sapphire emerald, I cut them and alch them. Steel scimitars are worth alching, and everything else is like junk. Mind runes and iron arrows stack up so slowly that they're just like never worth me picking them up. Water runes I probably shouldn't be picking up, but I have been. Body talismans are worth like 1500 GP, so basically I just like slowly fill up my inventory with body talismans, and then when that gets full, I go and I bank it, and that gets me like a little bit of passive cash. And the trip to going between here is a little lengthy, but it's not like the biggest deal. Um, Even though it's like a few minutes to go to the bank and back, I also, a good trip here is like 2 to 3 hours. So I'm not really worried about that at all. I personally like to pot up after the potion totally expires. That's kind of up to personal preference. I think the strength potion definitely helps. It's not the biggest deal. It's kind of like a flesh crawlers where it's like it still helps a little bit, but it's not the biggest deal. It helps more than at flesh crawlers because these guys have 35 health as opposed to 25. And I think somewhere like Tanner Dino has a video of him really efficiently killing hill giants where I want to say he squeezes out something like 50k combat experience an hour. It was some pretty high number. He's at max strength and attack, but and then there's also like if you're feeling really sweaty, then like and kind of your max hit and your like hit distribution, below a certain health point, using um, the little bazooka fun weapon or whatever it is. Um, I guess it's not a fun weapon. It doesn't have like negative stat bonuses. Using that is technically better than using the scimitar because of the tick speed it saves, and like all the extra max hits on the scimitar are wasted. So you have like better whatever. He crunched the numbers on this. Um, the point is that you can actually juice pretty good XP rates out of this, and I haven't like measured what I'm getting because I usually take it kind of easy. I definitely miss ticks all the time of like while I'm picking up drops and attacking giants, but that's like not that big a deal to me. Um, I'm still mostly focused, but not that focused. And what I've noticed is that even though I used to not particularly enjoy combat because of how click intensive it is with like mostly picking up drops, I usually do train on stuff where the drops are worth picking up. Um, it's like not that big a deal. I can actually, I'm so used to it that it's sort of second nature to do right now, and I haven't really been thinking about it too much while, narrating this commentary. Anyways, that's been a nice, healthy 15-minute ramble. The other thing I wanted to talk about is there are a few other levels I did earn this month. So I've gained 3 strength levels and about halfway to a fourth right now. Not too far off an HP level, 35k, so I'll get that before this next strength level. That will probably be what pushes me over to 1250 total. I was kind of hoping I could hit it, and if I really wanted to squeeze it, I could have just made wines for like 15 minutes. How many wines is it per hour? Yeah, I don't know, something like 15 minutes of wines, or like an hour of high alking. I do still have a handful of Addy plate bodies left over that I didn't alk all the way through, and if I get those, I'll hit 86 magic. I gained one. Sorry, I didn't gain any magic levels, and probably half the experience came from alching and half of it came from finishing up 80 rune crafting. I haven't done any rune crafting post. Maybe I did like 1 or 2 inventories post to level up, but I haven't done any post. Any gains I make from here on out are going to be lamps, and I don't know exactly when I'll revisit it. Um, I don't in all likelihood, like, I don't know if I'll max this account. I mean, my goals for the year would be base 90s. I don't really want 90 rune crafting to be like the last stat I train this year. I'd like to break it up. If 90 is the last thing I do, then I would like it to be going from like 88 to 90 rather than just like 80 to 90 in a lengthy like 2 month long grind. I'd like to break it up. Um, and from what I've noticed, like if I feel like rune crafting, I can get, almost like 100k experience in a day. Well, let's say I can get 100k, but like on an average evening, if I sit down and do some rune crafting, um, probably ends up being like, even though my good focused pace is just under 30k an hour, probably ends up being like 2 hours. I get about 50k XP, and that's pretty good for me. That's what I can do in like one evening's work. So if I'm talking something like 80 to 90, which again that's going to be 3.5 million experience, then we're talking like 70 days like that. That's a lot of rune crafting. So I definitely I think I'd have to break it up unless I really seriously got some like motivation, or again switch to a more expensive training method. I'd have to break it up. But there's other skills that I haven't trained in a while. 80 mining was, I think, one of the earlier 80s that I got. I don't remember if I got it before or after fishing, but I may have even gotten it before crafting. I'm quite, I'm like very certain that I got it before firemaking, pretty certain before ranged in the melees. So it's been a while since I've trained that. That's another skill that takes a lot of focus. There's really no way to get around it. But once I get in a good rhythm, I don't have to think about it. I actually prefer training mining on mobile. So that's something that I like to just lie down in bed and put on a TV show or something, and then um, train it that way. I've trained it on desktop before. I think I even did it for one of these videos. And what I usually do there is I use sticky keys just so I can always like auto drop. But it's a pain if I ever have to navigate between tabs or other applications, because then I've just got like my shift key held down. So again, I prefer to do that on mobile. And what else? What else? I think there was some other level up that's unaccounted for. There's one smithing level up in there in the midst. Oh, I guess I did get 1 HP level anyway. I don't remember if I got that training with these giants, or I did do a little bit. I did 80 to 81 strength actually at flesh crawlers, so I might have earned the HP level there. And smithing, I gained 1 smithing level. I think I still have about 5k addy bars banked. Managed to get a couple more kind of on the cheap, which is gonna get me halfway to 94. So that smithing's getting there. It's definitely getting up there. Well past the halfway point. It's about 5.7 mil experience to go, roughly. So that's under 100,000 addy bars to go through. I'll get there when I'll get there. Again, I do that a lot when like the bars are cheap. Oh, I didn't show anything with the bank value while I was at the bank, but it's hovering somewhere around like 50 mil right now in things that I actually plan to like, sell or alchemize or something, or supplies that I definitely will use. I've got a lot of nature runes stocked up. It's actually probably more nature runes than I actually need to get to 99 smithing if I'm alching all my plate bodies. But again, alching, pretty good money maker. And I've managed to stockpile a decent amount of vile ashes, which maybe I'll flip them for a profit, maybe I'll just keep them. Um, one of the other reasons is like that I'm training these melees this way is that it lets me chip away at the prayer. Like I said, this should get me to like 73, maybe 74. And potion dose. Did I miss one earlier? I feel like I completely did. I feel like I looked at my levels. Yeah, I must have. And then I didn't drink the potion, even though I was like one away. Well, that's what happens when you get lost in the ramble. So, maybe I'll splurge after I kind of finish these keys, and I'll get that 80 prayer for the nice um, base 80s. So, I don't know how long it'll take me to go through all these hill. Well, yeah, it really is mostly hill giants. I mean, moss giants goes like twice as fast. I don't know how long it'll take me to go through all these obtaining the keys, but it's gonna be a hot sec, that's for sure. And maybe I can do it this month. I actually didn't really think about the math of how much that means, but that means about 100,000 strength XP a day, which is doable, but I don't play every day. If I do sit down and play, I actually probably do get about that much XP, but I don't like do this every single day, so maybe I'll get there by the end of the month. Probably a little bit of it also depends how lucky I get. With this many keys, I'm not likely to deviate too far from the drop rate, but it could always happen. Um, Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, one last thing. I know that probably, even though there's only been 2 episodes, I think probably people are a little more excited about the Brojingus videos because I think Iron Man content's just like a little more popular. But there wasn't a video for that this month, basically just because I didn't really play the account. A lot of when I've been playing, doing this, I haven't been doing anything else on the side, and I don't enjoy playing Brojingus while I'm runecrafting. It's like a little too much attention for me. Um, I have a better time runecrafting if I just try and like get in a rhythm and only focus on that. So, but I'll try and get a Brojingus episode out for this next month. I'll try and log on and play a bit. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next month.